Ah, pollution, cane, and misery. Oceans of golden mystery. Armies boisterous and armies loud. Portraits of a vicious crowd. Talk to me now. Hey man, you're all that I have. Hey man, you're all that I have. Me, myself, and I were born to walk and born to die. I have chosen my anthems, of these I am proud. Portraits of a divided crowd. Talk to me now. Hey man, you're all that I have. Hey man, you're all that I have. Hey man, you're all that I have. Talk to me now. Talk to me now. Talk to me now. Talk to me now. A vicious crowd. A vicious crowd. Vicious crowd. Talk to me now. Talk to me now. Welcome to another despicable, very tired episode of The Apocalypse. I probably should not have sang that. Way too tired. It's a nice challenge, though. For the man is quite an excellent singer, quite a unique one as well. Always loved his music. The concert sucked, but that's beside the point. It's not because he sounded bad. It was the choice of songs and bringing Dennis Rodman out, as if it wasn't shitty enough already. Anyway, it's time to choose. All must choose. No one is exempt. Except for perhaps those who are not of the age of accountability yet. Perhaps they get an exemption that I'm not aware of. I don't know how that works. I am only second death. I am not God. So you have two paths you can choose from. Only two. No more. Path 1, God, Jesus Christ. Goodness, decency, righteousness, the law. Path 2, the imp, the antichrist, the false prophet, the apocalypse, Armageddon, the lake. Choose now. Congratulations, you have chosen the apocalypse. And since you have unwisely chosen the apocalypse, you are in urgent need of a guide. Unfortunately for me, I happen to be that guide, your humble guide, Nicholas. So good to see you, a bloody gayin. Will these people never learn? I've watched Donnie throw person after person under the bus over and over, and they always come back for more. I'm speaking of Miss Machado, the rebel leader, who shook hands with Darth Vader. Imagine Princess Leia shaking hands with Darth Vader. How would that work? It would not work. That is why Miss Machado will stay under the bus. Donnie never intended to let her lead the country. All Donnie ever wanted was the oil, and the entire planet knew that already. This beast cannot be reasoned with. And all he ever wanted, honey, was your oil, not you. Let's begin. Yeah, she went on Fox News, it looks like, or something. The rebel leader. The Princess Leia of Venezuela, who made a deal with Darth Vader. Darth Vader is her savior. Marina Machado says that she would like to share the Nobel Peace Prize with Trump after an article claimed that she was denied Venezuela's presidency because she beat Trump for the award. I heard that story. I didn't even report it to you because I consider it worthless. I know Donnie. Nobel or no Nobel, the rebel leader, Princess Leia, Vader was never going to put her in charge. Ever. This is Donnie and the oil company's show now. Everyone else can fuck the fuck off. And today proves that. This woman, I watched the clip and she basically said, I'd like to share the prize with him, give it to him in some way. It may have been Hannity or someone talking to her. I can't remember. She was kissing ass, boy. And even though she literally just got her country got bombed, leader got taken, she wanted that to happen. I get that. She sees that as a good thing. Okay, it wasn't done for any just purpose, honey. I'm sorry. He throws her under the bus. I mean, just absolutely fucking immediately. The second the question about her running anything came up, oh yeah, she don't have respect. Nah. Over. She's out. Look, again, whatever goal you have, however noble it is, you cannot take the devil along with you. We all learn that the hard way at some point in our life. This is the actual Antichrist. Again, everyone he shakes hands with, he plans on fucking them over later. That's not an exaggeration. This woman, after the million before her that got directly thrown under the bus, Marge Green's a traitor, have you heard lately? Bobo, she's out. Bobo. No one learns. Everyone tries to, try and find a way back in, or doubles down on their, I don't know, tribute, ass-kissing, begging, trying to please him in some way. It's really sad to watch. It makes me, lose any respect I might have had for this person. She doesn't know the water she's dipping her feet into. I do. And I knew Donnie shitbags, he's going to let the female rebel leader run the country? Get the fuck out of here. That was never gonna fucking happen. Are you kidding me? It's the oil companies and Donnie's show now. It doesn't matter. That Nobel is irrelevant. He would have thrown her under the bus with or without the Nobel, I guarantee it. Is he pissed that she got it and he didn't? Yeah. But that's not why. He would have never let the female rebel leader run the country. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. It's the oil companies and Donnie's show now. Once you let that wolf's foot in the door, he owns it. He got the Holy Land of Venezuela so far. He's going for Greenland, Cuba, Mexico, Colombia, various other places next. Expect him soon. Guaranteed. Inevitable. Good luck. Miss Machado still hasn't learned her lesson. She's still trying to get Donnie to help her in some way. Donnie's done helping her. He just wants the oil now, and boy, he got some all right. Wasted no motherfucking time. Meanwhile, this dumbass woman, she's still trying. She watched him throw her under the bus. She's still trying. I'll share the prize with him. That's not why, honey. He never cared about you, your people, Venezuela. And he cared about the oil and his rich donors and friends who were going to exploit it. You helped him. Congrats. You'll get nothing out of it. You'll never be leader of that country. I'm sorry. I would imagine God is rather displeased with you right now when you're shaking hands with the devil, talking the devil up, saying you're going to hand him your peace prize. The guy who just bombed your country, bombed 6 other countries in 1 year. I don't know, man. People never learn. Rod Filipkowski commenting on the situation. I'm starting to think maybe they need to get rid of that damn Peace Prize. Seems like it causes more harm than it's worth. We got Peace Prize recipients offering trade it to imperialist regime changers who murdered her countrymen in exchange for political power. Yep. Yep. In other words, Ron's saying it in a much more clever way than me, shaking hands with the devil. Because her goal is noble and she just wants to reach her goal and that's all she sees. Meanwhile, she walked with the devil for a minute. Now the devil's thrown her under the fucking bus. Literally right in front of the whole fucking world. I love the way Ron put this. He nailed it. We got Peace Prize recipients offering to trade it to imperialist regime changers who murdered her countrymen in exchange for political power. Very disappointing, honey. Very disappointing. I might have respected you. I don't know. Not anymore. Donnie was at a convention with a bunch of Republicans today. I have some clips from it. We're not going to go over them all. A lot of it was the greatest hits. The tariff shelf lie was told again. You know, all that bullshit. Here's what he looked like. A little bit more of a brown orange today instead of a straight orange. Very classy. Doesn't look like a clown at all. They have the worst policy. How we have to even run against these people. I won't say cancel the election. They should cancel the election because the fake news will say, sorry, there's a typo there, the person that transcribed. He wants the elections canceled. He's a dictator. They always call me a dictator. Nobody is worse than Obama. That's not true at all. He is a dictator, and you're in a dictatorship now. Sorry. When Donnie does this, I want you to understand something. It's too late now, but I want you to understand it anyway. And he's been doing it for 10 years. He's not as stupid of an old man as we think he is. He does these things intentionally, announces something he's going to do maybe a month, 2 months, a week before he's going to do it. The reason he brings it up in an almost joking manner like this, it's to test the waters. To what class? Normalize. Hitler did it all day, every day, just like this. I was thinking today, the abject evidence that this was all planned a long time ago. And they're going by a guidebook that was laid out before them, and they've, altered it slightly to fit modern times. The abject proof that this was planned a long time ago and they're following a script that they wrote themselves. Stephen Miller getting caught on camera, giving his plenary authority speech. That was something he always planned to say. That wasn't organic. Everything is contrived and planned with these people. He caught himself and he realized it's not that time yet. And froze like a deer in headlights. The reporter was even, Steve, you still there? Can you hear me? He realized he fucked up big time. He revealed something that was supposed to be revealed later. That was a speech for later he was going to say. That's the evidence that this was planned in advance. None of it's organic, not a bit of it. When Donnie does this, talks about canceling the election, however many 8 months before, that is utterly intentional to normalize. Get it in your head. Get it in the consciousness. What's the Reich's favorite philosophy? The old Reich and the new one. I've watched it play out for 10 years. It's exhaustingly obvious and transparent. I've watched it play out with Pizzagate and all that for 20 years, and now our country's over because of it. Everyone who preached it took money for the advertising from Russia and elsewhere to run those fucking people that were broadcasting and everything, the ads, the promotion, all of it. You ended America and the world. And I know you're just a little child and you can't even fathom what I just said to you. Don't worry, son. When it's too late, you'll look up and realize, oh shit. Don't worry. Everyone will. No one will be exempt. All will see. That's what they say, son. No one will need to tell you. That's what they say when the man comes around. Stephen Miller gave the game away. There's a million other indicators that all this was planned in advance. And they on a schedule and they on a script. But that one was caught live in real time. Not that long ago. Oh shit, I revealed a part of the plan I wasn't supposed to yet. Plenary authority, fuck. Tell a lie often enough, it becomes the truth. That is the Reich's favorite philosophy. The old Reich and the new one. And it works. You know how I know it works? 1939 Germany won. Rubes too. For about 20 years with the pizza. This whole machine. Son, let me explain. I started talking about a rock star, Chris Cornell. Nothing to do with politics. People got mad at me for doing that, by the way. Stop talking to me, certain people. Then when I talk politics again, people got mad I wasn't talking about the rock star. Whatever. Son, the Pizzagate, the whole right-wing grift machine, financed by Vlad, all the people that took the money, Google, Facebook, Twitter, all of them, Instagram, every single one you can name. They'd be half the size without that money. Half. I watched this right-wing grift machine with Alex Jones starting back into what, the early 90s, was it? Assange, Cernovich, all of it just a grift. None of it real. All white supremacy dressed in libertarianism. The fuck out of here. Constitutionalism. Get the fuck out of here. They're trying to help a dictator become a dictator. Cerno, literally. Jones, literally. It's been an operation, you idiots. You understand that, and you know who I'm talking to. The whole time. And a KGB guy named Vlad was a major player in it. Financier, my God, the money he gave to Google and Facebook and those places. You don't even want to know. And then, of course, again, Vlad stole it back from Google in 2022, I believe. Just snaked $100 million right out their bank account in Russia. They had to close up shop over there. It doesn't just work with lies, it works with concepts and ideas. The Overton window being intentionally moved like Thale and these idiots in this movement like to talk about. Say it jokingly and jest it first. And say it a week later, be a little more serious. And maybe say it a few weeks later. And start saying it every day. Now it's the truth. How do I know? You rubes. You gave your country away for that machine for the past 20 fucking years. The grift machine. The Pizzagate Assange gospel with Alex Snake Oil fucking Jones. Alex Defamation fucking Jones. Fox Defamation News, son. $750 million settlement, son, for defamation. Alex, $1 billion They're not just liars, son. They're goddamn liars! And grifters. And thieves. And they got you morons all ginned up for the past 20 fucking years with absolute garbage. And then the Antichrist comes along, the cherry on top of your entire movement. And all you Christian, right-wing, family, conservative people, pro-life people, voted for the literal devil, son, and the Antichrist. Do you fucking hear me? And that's verified, son. I know you don't know yet. But I'm a few decades ahead of you. You say it often enough, it becomes the truth. You test the waters saying cancel the elections. I'm just joking. I mean, I should cancel it. I shouldn't cancel it. He's going to cancel it. He's going to have to. Who knows how that'll work? Manipulation of the ballots going in, manipulation of the numbers coming out. He just deploys the fucking military and says the election's off. Forget about it. Too many Democrats are winning. It's going to play out somehow. Don't worry. They're not going to allow, again, a fucking blue wave. And Donnie's going to prove me right. What I said a few days ago to you. They don't want to go through 9 impeachments. They ain't got time for it. They building a right, they grifting, they robbing, they stealing, they murdering. They on a schedule, son. They got a right to fucking build. So when he says cancel the election and he complains he's being called a dictator, he's acted like a dictator from day one. He said he'd be a dictator on day one. Remember that? If the shoe fits, you orange cunt. And that's what he's trying to be anyway. It's what he wants to be. He's always aspired to be. Why are you so insulted by it? You're trying to personify it, you fucking liar. So again, I never expected the midterms to happen in any legitimate way the second he won. And the 4-year election, that's a foregone fucking conclusion. He's not leaving. He staged a coup last time. Nothing else need be said. He's not leaving. The ballroom, the arch, the hemispheric ruler. He's never leaving. We riding this to Armageddon, baby. And it's going to be ugly as fuck. It already is. So when he jokes about canceling the elections and being a dictator, no, he wants to be a dictator and he will cancel the elections in some way, shape, form. He's not going through impeachments again. He's not giving any of us a chance to say no. He's not giving Congress a chance. He learned from his mistake last time. Don't give him a chance to stop your fucking coup. That's what you're witnessing. But I want to stress the point. This ain't just a senile old man. He is senile, but this is also a plan, and he's been thinking about it for decades. Do you hear me? He didn't have Hitler's speeches next to his bed for nothing. That says something about someone. That's not light bedtime reading, son. That's pure goddamn evil in them speeches. And you gonna read that at bedtime? As entertainment? No, as something to aspire to. He's always aspired to it. And he's just like Adolf Hitler. They're both goddamn traitors to their nation that staged coups against their governments so they could be world fucking dictator for life. That's not an exaggeration. That's what Donnie's literally doing in front of your fucking face. We've got posters being put out by government accounts of Donnie straddling from Greenland to fucking South America, ruling the hemisphere. What fucking nightmare sci-fi novel did this come out of? Oh, that's right. It came out of the Bible. Straight out the fucking Bible. You best recognize, son. I ain't here for nothing. With this headache as tired as I fucking am. Donnie again, he's angry at the media people. Make me look thin for a change. You're making me look a little bit heavy. I'm not happy about it. His photos lately, he's saying he's looking heavy. That's because he's a fat ass. Let's be honest. It's not the press doing that to him or the camera. He's just fat. So, I remember back in the day, he said when he was, I can't remember if he won the first election yet or not, but he said these new light bulbs make him look orange. Motherfucker, you've been looking orange since fucking 1983. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? So blame the light bulbs for him looking orange when he puts on orange paint on his fucking face. Like Bozo the Clown. And he blames the camera for him being fat. How's the farm doing, okay? Donnie's worried about, whether he's looking fat in pictures. As he's gallivanting around on your dime. Donnie, he's talking about veering off subject. And, I can't even remember the word I use for it. Digress too much. And if you can't come back to your original thought, there's a problem. There's been many instances of Donnie not coming back to his original thought. So Donnie's calling his dementia weaving. Because I've been around 100-year-olds, and they'll just talk out into the air. You'll be sitting nearby. They'll just talk out about a subject not relevant. Whatever, their mind isn't there anymore. I get it. I'm not mad about it. Donnie does the same exact thing. You know, I weave. I love to weave. If you ever weave and don't come back to the point, then that's a problem. But when you weave and you go here and boom, 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 always coming back, then you're in good shape. The new word for dementia is weave. Okay. Let me take a break before we look at this. Donnie just proves me just dead right about him every single second of every day, baby. Not just me, so many, but I'm taking it further than so many. I said I put my name, my face on the line way before any of this happened and said he's a fucking antichrist. I went way further than most people. And I said he was going to annex territories and do all this and take what he wants like Adolf did. Now we're here where he's doing it, literally. I'll be right back. And then we'll get to Donnie proving the grift and everyone that said this was about oil, proving them 100% correct. Okay, you ready to hear Donnie prove this is all a grift for oil in one post? You ready? I am pleased to announce that the interim authorities in Venezuela will be turning over between 30 and 50 million barrels of high-quality sanctioned oil to the United States. Yeah, sure, Donnie, sanctioned, right? That makes it okay, right? The word sanctioned? No. It's still a straight-up bribe to a president. My God. I've never seen anything like this. And again, if Biden dared do... Whoo! If Biden did this, or Obama... Because I ain't done yet, son. This gets better. He didn't just straight up extort them at gunpoint for fucking millions of barrels of fucking oil. Tens of millions. Donnie's, there's more to this plan. To the United States of America. Okay, the oil's going to America. But where's the money for the oil going? This oil will be sold at its market price, and that money will be controlled by me. As President of the United States of America, to ensure it is used to benefit the people of Venezuela. I'm sure Donnie's just only going to be thinking of the people of Venezuela with that account that has billions of dollars in it. Right, Roops? Maybe he'll give you some to save the farm. To benefit the people of Venezuela and the U.S., I have asked Energy Secretary Chris Wright to execute this plan immediately. I bet you fucking did, Donnie. It will be taken by storage ships and brought directly to unloading docks in the United States. Thank you for your attention to this matter. He said interim authorities. We don't even know who's fucking running Venezuela right now. Actually, we do. The Reich. They didn't even name someone. That's how much they run and shit down there. The oil's going to go to America, but the money goes to Donnie. It's Donnie's control specifically. How did he put it? And that money will be controlled by me. This cunt took a $400 million plane that you will pay $2 billion to fix up. He's never leaving. This cunt took your money and is building a armored ballroom and improving his bunker because he knows he's going to be spending some time down there once the riots start. Once they go full Reich. And they will go full Reich, son. Don't worry. They're very close already. You fucking kidding me? It's invaded another country, stole their oil. The invasion isn't even a week old yet. Donnie's got 50 million barrels already. So what's the priority class? Oil, oil, oil. That's all it ever fucking was. Donnie just admitted it right here. I'm getting, oh, hold on. America's getting 50 million barrels of oil, but I'm getting the money. But don't worry, I'll make sure Donnie's shitbags, the adjudicated fraud, the compulsive liar, the mass murderer, the thief, he'll make sure it helps the people of Venezuela and America. Right. Right. Why not put that money under Congress's control to distribute out to people? No? That's not part of the grift, right, Donnie? Right. I must say again, you, the rubes that have gone along with this for 10 years, you are the purest Marx ever born. Oh my God. Ballroom on your dime, arch on your dime. He says multiple times, I'm just going to take 350 million from the treasury. Then he raised it to, I'll take $1 billion. Then he said, well, I said I'd give it to charity, but I should probably keep it. Oh, no, I'm just joking. I'm going to give it to charity. The Antichrist is going to give that money to charity. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know the Antichrist said, son. Steal $1 billion outright from the treasury, said it out loud. Uses your military to kill 80 people and 100 in the Caribbean as a buildup. Has them go kidnap a country's leader and steal their oil within, has it even been 5 days? I don't remember. And Donnie already raked in, already collected 50 million barrels, son. And who's going to be in charge of the money, Rubes? Donnie. God, you people are stupid. I've never seen a grifter of this magnitude. And every day it's 3-4 new grifts. Pure evil, son. And again, just replace what I just read to you. Add the name Biden and Obama instead of Donald Trump. And you realize you've been a hypocrite your entire life and you stand for nothing. That'll help you realize that. Also realize you handed your country over to criminals, Nazis, Satanists, the Antichrist, and it's the end of the empire. You gave it away. That's inevitable, son. That's a promise. And I knew this 10 years ago. That if Donnie was allowed to play out, we'd be right here. Concentration camps, pseudo-police state coming, our military used against us, masked men with machine guns kidnapping people, including American citizens. And that's only a minor inconvenience. Again, Rubes, right? Getting tackled, beaten up by guys in masks with machine guns. Detained 6, 7, 3 days, whatever, and then they let you go, right? It's no big deal. Wouldn't fuck your life up at all, right, jerk-offs? Right. Like I said, just pretend Biden wrote this or pretend Obama wrote this and realize you stand for goddamn nothing. Doesn't give a fuck about one of you people, never did, and we tried to tell you that every day for 10 years, but you knew better. Let me move the fuck on. They're rewriting history just like 1984. I told you this fucking years ago. They cannot have the Republican Party going forward for the next 100 years. They cannot have in the history books that 80% of them went along, helped finance the right-wing grift machine. Alex Jones was funding buses, all kinds of great stuff. They cannot have that various right-wing oligarchs, right-wing pundits, right-wing news people, right-wing political people, about 80% of them, all tried to stage a coup, and the Republican president at the time, against this nation. They cannot have that in the history books. I told you this years ago. You're witnessing that now. There's a revisionist history from the White House just a few minutes ago on the White House website, posting an entire timeline in which they are quite explicit in putting blame on Democrats and others for the events that transpired on J6 and the prosecutions that followed. It makes no logical sense that the Democrats, the liberals, when their president won the election, would want to stop that process. You fucking idiots. And you know who I'm talking to. Again, that also proves, because you understand that concept, you're stupid, but not that stupid. That'd be like Donnie winning the election, MAGA, and you people rioting, trying to stop the certification for Donnie getting certified. That's how I know the liberals didn't try and stop Biden getting certified. You fucking cunts. But you know that too. Let me continue. There are references to the mass arrests of patriotic protesters. There is a reference to the greatest election theft in U.S. history, Mike Pence's act of cowardice and sabotage. What's this called, class? Inversion of reality, rewriting history to say the exact opposite of what actually took place. I have 4 here. There are more. I'm using these 4 as an example for you so you understand what happened. Words fail at the brazenness of the dishonesty in the White House's new January 6th timeline. This is one section. Ashley Babbitt murdered in cold blood. No, she was about to get to some congressmen and senators, and the guy whose job it is to protect them shot her. That's his literal job, what he did. So no, she wasn't murdered in cold blood whatsoever. This other section, Mike Pence refuses to act. Each like couple paragraphs has a title like this, and there's many more. Totally rewriting the events, absolving themselves, blaming it all on liberals and Democrats. When their president won, why would they want to stop it? They wouldn't, but you know that. That's why your country's over. You did know that. You went along anyway. I know. You thought this was going to be like the last 10 times you went in and voted right-wing evil. That you just go to church on Sunday, you'd walk away with your head held high, conscience clear, even though you stand for evil, you represent evil on this planet, utterly and totally. You thought it wasn't going to touch you again. I know. I'm here to tell you it's going to touch you, every single one. And so many of you, I know, you're going to take the mark and you're going to follow them all the way to the abyss. My God, what will touch you then? You can't even fathom it. I can, though. Mike Pence refuses to act. Literal rewriting of history, inverting reality. Stolen election certified, and then the writing that goes along with that. President Trump silenced, and then the writing. I guess that's when they all banned him from social media, when he was trying to start more riots on top of the one he started. History, 1984, the novel, history is being rewritten right before our fucking eyes. Completely inverted. That should horrify you that they did this. Here's some of Don Jr.'s text messages on J6. Don Jr.'s text to Trump's chief of staff on J6. He's got to condemn this shit ASAP. It's gone too far. He's got to condemn this shit ASAP. The Capitol Police tweet is not enough. And I can show you. It's Don Jr. Mark Meadows, I'm pushing it hard. I agree. Then Don says, we need an Oval Office address. He has to lead now. It's gone too far and gotten out of hand. Now, meanwhile, while all this was going on, you had all the Fox News people texting Mark Meadows and whoever they could get to because Donnie wasn't picking up the phone. Donnie wanted this shit to succeed. He didn't want to hear from the peanut gallery. Donnie, you need to stop this. You're going to kill our whole grift. Oh my God, you're killing us. Donnie didn't care. He wanted it to work. That's why he wasn't picking up the phone. That's why they had to text Mark Meadows and complain to him or someone else. Donnie was in hiding like a child, hoping his scheme works. There's two people responsible for Ashley Babbitt's death, and it saddens me that she wasted her life on this. Donald Trump and Ashley Babbitt. That's it. The right-wing grift machine out there in pundit land, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc. That sure did help, I'm sure. Still her choice to take part, to follow this thing, and not see the evil in it cost her her fucking life. Donnie joking about running for a third term again and again. He doesn't say this by accident. The more you say it, the more normalized the idea becomes. It becomes ingrained in the consciousness. It's not just such a shock when it happens. Most of the sheep just go, oh yeah, he did mention that. I'm not allowed to run. I'm not sure. Is there a little something out there that I'm not allowed to run? But let's assume I was allowed to run. There's going to be a constitutional movement, and we don't need to hear the rest. Canceling the midterms or canceling the election? Yeah. Some form of that will take place. Because it's going to be a landslide victory for the liberals in government, and they'll take over the Senate and the House. Donnie gets impeached 9 times, which he deserves. They're not going to let that happen. Now he's talking about his third term, and there's going to be a constitutional movement. Again, introducing it to you again for a reason with an agenda behind it. Not just the ramblings of an old man. He's not leaving. And he's got the blessing this time. Do you understand what that means? This wave is going all the way to shore. We are on the crest. We will crash with it. It is inevitable. I don't want it to be. I take no pleasure in saying that. I'm just being bluntly honest with you people. I'm too tired, and it's too crazy for me to waste time or try and sugarcoat things. Eventually, people like me won't even be able to speak, so enjoy it now. What I just talked about the other day, what I just talked about 2 minutes ago, Donnie cannot let the midterms go forward legitimately. There will be a blue wave. Everyone knows it. No one likes Nazism. No one likes fascism. Everyone can see the writing on the wall. You got to win the midterms, because if we don't win the midterms, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached. Goddamn right you will, and it won't be hard to find 19 reasons. Again, he just announced today that he's accepting 50 million barrels of oil, and he will be in charge of the money. Not Congress, not America, not a third party. The president, who is a goddamn known fraud and grifter. Adjudicated fraud. Committed mass murder to do this by the fucking way. Look, he's giving you all the signals. He's telling on himself. He talked earlier about canceling the election. Now he's saying you got to win the midterms or I'm going to get impeached. Literally what I've been saying to you the past few days and for a long time. Now he's talking about it, showing you that he knows, showing you that he has a plan. Donnie loves to tell on himself, and he loves to introduce these concepts. And if you freak out too much, it was a joke. Like when he wanted to be Pope, remember? The press talked about the opening, asked Donnie what he thought about this opening for Pope. Donnie said, I'd like to be Pope. My name would be first, in consideration, something to that effect, he said. And he meant it, son. He is a child mentally. Donnie wants every title, trophy, accolade, praise. I've never seen an entity that needed worship more. Again, he's just proving what I said, that they know they can't have a blue wave. They don't have time for that. They got a right to build. They're in mid-grift. They're seizing the moment. They can't let this happen. That's, I guess, when you'll know it will finally be revealed in full. Not that all the signs aren't there already. You should know this a long time ago. That's when they'll go full Reich. That's when they'll blatantly, in our faces, nullify election results or deploy the troops, martial law, insurrection. That's when they'll be totally revealed for what they are. Now, any normal person, the concentration camps, the masked men, your own military deployed against you, the annexation of another country, that should be enough. But I'm sure it's going to take for some of you, when he just negates an election, make sure nothing happens at midterms, and they can just continue the Reich, no matter what they got to do. I bet that's when a lot of you wake up. So he's letting you know that he's probably going to cancel the election in some way. He's letting you know that he can't let the election go through legitimately because he will be impeached. And we're at the end. This is the epitome of Donnie right here. I'm always right. Trump is right about everything, right? I've been right about everything. No, Donnie hasn't been right about everything. You know who's been right about everything? Jesus Christ. John the Revelator. God the Father. Because I'm watching it play out right before me. Donnie, I've seen him be wrong about a lot of things. This is deadly serious, and the annexation is just further proof for me. Yeah, this is what you think it is, Nick. They're going to go full damn Reich. Again, they're putting posters up. Donnie straddling the hemisphere. Stephen Miller using the hemisphere word. Hegseth using the hemisphere word. That's a talking point now. That's an idea. Now it's in the consciousness, precedent set once he took Venezuela and there were not riots on the streets. Every day tells me more and more, yes, Nick, this is going to where you fucking think it's going. I don't want it to again. This isn't fun for me. This isn't entertainment. I don't enjoy it. I'm just one of a very small group of people that understand this as much as a human can. And again, one of the first videos I ever did was a video on the Mark of the Beast about 10, 11 years ago, somewhere around there. And I didn't know what I was doing. And I often would write out my monologue. And then some people be like, well, it sounds like you're reading. And I'm a pretty good reader. It doesn't sound like, a third grade book report when I read something. But you could tell I was reading sometimes. And I said, well, everyone you watch on television has a teleprompter. What's the problem? Eventually, I realized I don't really need to write much down. I just need a cue in my mind for it. That's why these pictures, I can just look at it, read 2 sentences, and then talk for an hour. Not because I like talking, it's just where it goes. And here I am again all these years later, after many twists and turns. And I wasn't sure back then how soon it was coming, if Donnie was what I thought he was. I felt like he was, but then I had to go through the checklist. Does he fit the ancestry? Because there's criteria for ancestry of the Antichrist as well. I'm not going to go into it right now. He fit. And other criteria at the time. So I wasn't sure yet, but I guess even back then, I just felt this sense of urgency, like I needed to do something. And the something I didn't need to do was go get a job at Walmart. I needed to do something different. Much more important. And I didn't realize how important at the time. I didn't realize how blatantly and obviously the story would portray itself in real life. And I didn't know at the time that I was going to literally witness the head wound. One of the pieces of scripture I told you I pondered for years. How will that go? That's pretty crazy. I got to see it. And again, that became central to everything we're seeing now. That moment. That moment is celebrated. That moment is honored. There are images made of that moment. It's referenced. It's talked about. It's used for political purposes. So now that we're here, and I am certain it's him, and we're in it. We're closer, a lot closer than we were 10 years ago to that moment when the mark is unveiled. And again, you know, if you take nothing else from these videos, these 2-hour monstrosities, the overarching message is, can you guess? Don't take the mark if you value yourself, your soul, and what comes after this, because a lot of people are going to die. There's nothing we can do about that. You can do something about where you go after. Or if you survive this whole thing, where you go when the man comes back. That's something you have a choice over. I suggest you make the right fucking choice. When that mark comes around, you have to say no. Yes, it will cost you. And I can't stress enough, once you say yes to that, once you take the oath, take the mark, whatever oath is going to go along with it, because I guarantee there will be some type of oath with it. Because the point of it is to get your worship on the devil via his Antichrist, via worship of him. If you don't agree to it, you're an enemy of the devil and the Antichrist. Therefore, you must die. When you make that choice, I'm talking the second you make that choice, there is no change in your mind, man. It's pretty much the direct ultimate offense to God. You saying, I renounce and I worship whatever. Mark may have some physical effects too. I don't know. May change you physically in some way. I'm not sure about that yet. Basically, when you take it, you become a child of the devil. You're acknowledging that, you're worshiping that, and you're saying, I don't worship God. You're stating it outright. Then you're becoming part of the beast system. You are now the enemy of God. You've chosen it. God didn't choose it. You did. Never forget that. When the boils start coming, because they will, I'll say this and then I'll go. Once you make that choice, say, okay, I'll do it. Over for you forever. And there's no changing your fucking mind. It's not that kind of thing. Once you say yes, take the oath, take the mark, you are now permanently and forever irredeemable. That's the danger of the mark. God will look at you forever as dead, irredeemable, blotted out of the book of life. Going in the lake with the devil, the false prophet, and the Antichrist. That's what will happen to you. And again, no matter if you stand alone with others, whatever the case may be, it's better not to take it. And I know that's a hard thing to accept, knowing that there will be consequences. The consequences for taking it, son, so much worse. Infinitely worse. It's coming. This thing is moving fast. We are not even 2 years in. They have taken a country, and Donnie is receiving 50 million gallons of oil, or barrels, excuse me, and he will be in control of that specific money. Imagine where we're going to be at the end of this year. I don't want to imagine it. The reason I'm telling you this, again, because that tells me the mark is coming sooner by the pace of this. You're a lot closer to it than we were 10 years ago. A lot closer. And for this not to be the 42-month reign for Donnie, he sure is spouting plenty of abominations and blasphemies per day. Every time he does, I think of that piece of scripture again. 42 months of just nonstop fucking out-the-mouth blasphemy. Donnie personifies that like a motherfucker already. So it's really hard to accept that there might be another 42 months that, you know, I'm interpreting something wrong because of the order it's presented in scripture. Where the abomination of desolation has to take place first, and then the tribulation happens. The tribulation is a specific portion of the apocalypse, so you could still say we're in the apocalypse now and not in the tribulation, but it sounds like Donnie's total reign is 42 months. When does that count start? Because he's acting like he runs the world now. They're calling him king of the fucking hemisphere, for fuck's sake. The Reich is. I'm not kidding. I just can't see the pace of abominations and blasphemies Donnie is speaking. I can't see this not being the 42 months. But I don't know. Again, I'm not God. All I know is, again, I feel a lot more urgency than I even felt 10 years ago. And at the pace this is moving, if I had to guess when the mark would come in the next 2 years, that's just a guess, though. And I'm not God. Inside of 2 years, I would expect it personally, but, you know, Brother James thought, again, that Donnie would take about 10 years maybe, or we got 10 years left. That's how Brother James put it. His interpretation, his feeling is he thinks maybe we got 10 more years. Donnie has to build his world kingdom first. Okay. Very possible. And he knows scripture quite fucking well, and he ain't no hack scripture person. His theories are solid, based on something. He could easily, I mean, he is, in my opinion, a Bible teacher. He just decides, I guess, to do it on YouTube once in a while. He's an excellent Bible teacher. I definitely learned some things from him, and I thought I was past that point. I was not. But I have to stress one more time before I go. That mark, if I'm right and it comes inside of 2 years, or if Brother James is right, you know, within the next 10, whenever it comes. And 10 years ain't that long, 8, 2 years ain't that long. So it's coming relatively soon. Again, if you hear nothing else I say, hear this. Don't take the mark. Do yourself a favor. Because taking it again, you're irredeemable, automatic. There's no trade backs. There's no apologizing. There's no, I take the mark off, God. No. It is over for you. And the plagues that come upon you in the story are fucking horrific. And then the lake after that, when you finally die, when God allows that. So those of us that refuse, if we get executed or whatever happens to us, well, that's still better than what's going to happen to you, son, is what I'm trying to say. If you take the mark, don't fucking take it. I don't care if I hate you, love you, I'm indifferent to you, I don't know you exist, you're famous, not famous. Do yourself a motherfucking favor. Don't take the mark. I'm talking to everybody. Because going to the lake after the plagues and all that, after the Battle of Armageddon, does not fucking sound fun, man. Being turned to mush by Jesus Christ when he comes back, because by what I'm seeing, it appears he is coming back, and that is the paradigm. Jesus Christ, God the Father, the Trinity, the whole thing. Whatever title you want to put on it, Christianity or just God or whatever you want to put on it. That's the paradigm. For certain. Because those prophecies have come true and are coming true. How do you explain that? Don't take the mark. Until the next episode, have a wonderful evening and hit the PayPal, please, if you appreciate what I do. Thanks. Have a good evening.